Hi guys, Matthew here with a new video. So today we're going to be turning a wood I've never turned before. So this is butternut. So it's a piece of wood from a tree that I collected in Montreal. I have a whole tree with very big pieces and very small pieces. So today's objective is to cut this up, turn this into 4 bowls, and to see how the wood works. So one bowl I'm going to turn to the finished product, because some woods are very stable, such as maple, that you can basically turn once, then you don't really need to let them dry. And others, like apple, that really need time to dry or else they'll warp a lot. I'll turn 3 more that will be roughed out at the right thickness. So one will go into the microwave, the other one will go into the dryer, and the other one will be put out for air drying. So with these 4 bowls, I'm gonna get an idea of how the wood actually works and what I can make with it. So that's what we're going to be doing. So first things first is to get the chainsaw out, cut this in half, and then go on to the bandsaw and cut the blanks around. So let's start with that. Alright, so first things first, cut with the chainsaw. I'm just going to do one cut, very simple. And the rest will be done on the bandsaw. There we go. So this is completely pift free. This one has the pift on this side, but I'm going to cut that out using the bandsaw. So that's good. So onwards to the band. So as you can see, we have our blanks cut out. So I'm going to put these 4 aside. 3. We'll start with this one. Just tighten that up. Okay. I think I made the hole too long. Perfect. Get that out of the way. Use a smaller rest. Don't need all that. Make sure it clears. Always important to do. We can start. 5/8 bowl gouge. So this. About this wood is that it's quite stringy. The gouge has a tendency to want to slip. That might be because it's not sharp, so I'm going to go sharpen it. I keep forgetting to sharpen the gouge before the key. Going to be turned to the finished size just to see if it's really thin, what happens. So to, but I will, but however, make it nice and smooth, because so this one is going to be turned finished to see at the finished size to see how the wood is going to warp. The other ones are going to be roughed out, so this one's going to be a little bit different. The other ones are going to be roughed down to their final shape. So I'm going to probably speed run through them. You know what? I'm going to cut. This is bowl number 3. I skipped bowl number 2. I thought it would take too much time and you guys would get annoyed. But then I realized it doesn't take that much time, so I'm just gonna go. That snapped off. Where did that go? So that went here. Oops. Like that. So there was a big... can I work around that? Is there one in this one? No, this one's clean. I'll work around it. As you can see, screw chucks are very, very solid. Now I'm really just going with the first shape that comes to mind. I'm not trying to make a set or anything. I'm not trying to make anything that would be matching. I'm just turning quick bowls, right? So these ones are not the same. They look the same, but their shape is different. And this one's smaller. So the goal is not to have perfectly, they all fall, symmetrical bowls. The goal is to just have bowls to test out the wood. let's for a second imagine that I wanted to make a set. So what I would do, first thing I would do is grab my calipers. So these are calipers. I'd set the tenon size. So I'll just write that. Then I set this size. So I open the calipers up, and I want the calipers to stay open so that each point is at the rim. So now I know that when the calipers go against the curve like that, I'm as thick as I need to be. So that's a measurement, and the last measurement is very simply the distance between there and there. So that is 5.5. So this in length is 6. So that's all I measure. So hit the tenon. Close that. That's pretty perfect. That's 5 by 5, 5.5. So technically, these should be pretty close. So it doesn't take much, right? It just takes 3 measurements and you're good. This is the first one, the smallest one. This I'm going to turn to its completed size. So go. So that's turned to the thickness that I would turn these bowls once they are completed. So that's the first one done. That's bowl number 1. So that's about the right thickness. This would be a bowl I would turn. So that's the first one. Now let's get the other ones, which will be turned to a size meant for drying. So how do I determine the sense for drying? It's the rule of 10, or 1/10. So what I do is I have this jig with diameter, and here I have red lines, which is the diameter for a roughed out bowl. So that is 6.5. So 6.5 is there. So if I turn that on, actually I'll just do it on. There we go. That's the diameter. That's how long it takes to turn a roughed out bowl. Doesn't take that long because you're not putting any finish on it or anything. So it's going really fast. So this one is the exact same as the other one. So the same size, the same dimensions. Also, make sure you don't have any sharp corners because they have a tendency to crack. So just dull those corners out. There you go. And last but not least, oops, I hit the phone. Last but not least, this one, which I will also turn thin because why not? I need the practice. this one also is turned to what would be its final finish. So I have 2 final turned and 2 roughed out. So in retrospect, this wood kind of turns like cherry, to be honest, in terms of how hard it is and how easy it comes off the tool. Some woods, like apple, you can just feel that they're dense. And ash as well. Dry ash, you can feel it's dense, but this feels like cherry. I've turned wet Pennsylvania cherry before, and it turns exactly the same. So hopefully these 2 bowls don't move as much. What I'm going to do probably is when they dry, I'm going to put this one through the microwave. This one I'm going to let air dry because I'm really happy with the finish. And you might say, well, Matthew, you just wasted these 2 bowls. No. These 2, which are basically the same, which is pretty cool. Actually, if you can set the grain pattern up, it looks pretty nice. Anyway, so these 2 are going to be finalized once they dry. And these 2 will give me a good idea. Oh, well, that's not good. Anyway, these 2 will give me a good idea of how this wood works when it dries, because that's a very important part of turning wet wood and processing wood, is understanding how that specific species works when it comes to drying. Some pieces like honey locust and apple split. Some pieces like maple don't split at all, or split very, very, very rarely. So I've never turned butternut, so now we're going to see how butternut works. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So as always, happy turning, and see you guys next time.